Hi, Martin Doyle, Biothermored. Anyway, I just wanted to introduce you to Jenny Takiyaki, and she's stop laughing. She's very important because Jenny was instrumental in introducing me to the product, and as a consequence of that, bringing the product in. And I keep asking myself why, but I just want to let you listen to Jenny's story because it was quite interesting. Because she'd had pain for a long period of time. Was it the right shoulder?
Yeah.
How long had you had problems with the shoulder?
Years. Years before I met you. It was like actually on my left shoulder first, and with the frozen shoulder, and then the problems that I had, major problems with my right shoulder. And I had one of the Biothermodes that I bought from overseas, and then I was using that, brought it into the surgery.
Yeah.
And
but prior to that, you'd had pain in your shoulder for a long time, hadn't
yes.
you? And I think as a physiotherapist, I think we realised we weren't really improving with this shoulder.
That's right, yes.
And then we found that there was a spur there that was sort of really catching underneath the acromion, just wasn't, and that was bone, it wasn't going anywhere.
That's right, yeah.
And we eventually, a very good surgeon, did the surgical repair, and it was quite extensive surgery that you've had, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They did the acromioplasty, the
bicep
tendinosis, where they moved it down and reattached it. They removed the spur.
Yep.
And then they did some work to the labrum.
Yes.
So it was quite extensive surgery that you had.
Yeah.
And when you came back from the rehabilitation, your shoulder was very stiff. It was a tough rehabilitation in the early stages because you have to go through that period of immobilizations. Notwithstanding that you'd been in pain for a long period of time before that, hadn't you? And I think we'd come to the conclusion that conservative management really wasn't going to help your condition.
Yeah.
And I think when your shoulder, during the rehab process, I think the shoulder was stiff. And then one day, as you said, because we were using heat in the clinic, weren't we? We were using weak pads, we were using the hydrocollators.
That's right,
and as you know, Heidi is the practice manager, and she was running in and out with these, we had to boil them and all. It was a bit of a, but then one day you brought this product in and you said, this is what I've been using. I think that was used in Hong Kong, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah. So I bought one
in Hong Kong?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think you also, I think what was really impressive as well was you knew Bruce Lee, didn't you? You were on his show, when you were on a film there.
I was, yes.
You were an extra in the film.
Yes, you remembered that.
So I was really very impressed. But notwithstanding that, I think the heat that Jenny brought back was moist, and it was infrared, and it was a heat I'd never come across before. And the beauty of it is we could plug it in, we could set the time, we could set the temperature, and it was wonderful for patients because they got that nice moist infrared heat that's therapeutic. And it was easy for me because I wasn't having to use hydrocollators, boil in the water, I wasn't having to use weak pads. And I think when I did the research on that product you brought in, it was shown to be the most beneficial from a therapeutic point of view, because if you look at the research now on which is the best form of heat, moist heat or dry heat, it's all moist heat. So you were ahead of the game in the sense of the product that you brought in. And ever since then, we contacted the company overseas. They sent us a small sample. We used them amongst ourselves, and then we went through the due process of bringing an order in, getting the TGA to classify the product as a medical product, which they did, not an electrical product. That's quite important. And also get an endorsement from the Australian Physiotherapy Association, who took the product and got the musculoskeletal physios to look at it, and they gave us a tick of approval. So it's ticked all the boxes. And there's been some issues with using weak pads and gel packs in medical situations because of the risks of burns and stuff. So they're an ideal product to replace that. So I suppose it's glad to, thank you for people who are getting lots of pain relief. And if you look online at the people who are using it, they're all saying how beneficial this moist heat to people that are in chronic pain. So it's really you they should be thanking and not me. So I just wanted to go on record and say thanks for that, and don't show me any more products. But Jenny, I'd like you to, if you could just explain, you use this product at home, is that right?
So this is one of my favourites. I've actually got 3 at home now.
Oh, have you?
Because
Of the same product?
no. I've got 3 Biothermoreds.
But different ones.
Yeah, different ones. But this is one of my favourite.
Yeah.
Put this over here, and just
And
dip it in.
then you set the... Now, what temperature do you have at, Jenny?
I usually use it around about 60.
Yeah, okay.
But my husband has it a bit higher, and it comes in at it defaults to 30 minutes, which is great. When I use
so you set it for 30 minutes?
yes, I set it for 30 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I used to use the heat pads, and I've burnt the heat pads in the microwave.
Yeah, okay.
Not heat pads, wheat pads.
Yeah, okay, the wheat pads.
I've burnt them in the microwave, and you know, put them on for 3 minutes, and they go cold. So
I think the thing with wheat pads is you don't know what the temperature is when they come out.
Yeah.
And I think the beauty of this is just why
constant.
It's why they're good in medical establishments like say aged care facilities.
Yeah.
You know, where there's people or palliative care where people would like heat. The clinicians or the allied health professionals can set the time, can set the temperature, and they can lock it in.
That's right. And if you find it's too hot, you can drop the temperature down.
Yeah.
And also drop the time up or down. Which I've done, you know, if I need to get up or something like that, you know.
And also the built-in thermostats.
Yeah.
If the product goes overheat, it shuts down.
Yeah.
So there's thermostats that detect fluctuations in temperature.
Yeah.
So the beauty of this is it heats up very quickly, stays at the temperature. You can control the temperature. You can turn the time. And if you set it, it can come to those same parameters each time.
That's right, yeah.
Each time you sort of use it.
Yeah.
Now, and your training, I've noticed your training over the last 6 months seems to have gone up.
Yes.
Is that because we've got a new trainer? we've got Dan, who I'm going to kill him when I see him, but I think Dan's been a great help to the clinic in his different philosophy, or his, you know, because he pushes you guys in strength and conditioning, where from my perspective as a physiotherapist would be a little bit reluctant to take you there. But I think if you're going to gain them strengths and conditioning, you sometimes have to go out of your safety zone.
Yeah.
And I think I've noticed with you that you've improved. I think are you one of the strongest girls down there now?
Yeah, I could be.
So what's your strong event there?
I was pushing 100 kilos on the leg press the other day. He's trying to get us to the 100% and then drop down to 80.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was pretty proud of my 100 kilos on the leg press.
Gosh.
It's my good Hungarian legs.
Well, the Hungarians are good at strength, aren't they? Historically, they've got they're great wrestlers and great lifters, aren't they? But do you remember years ago how often your back used to go out?
Yes,
do you remember?
yes.
And that doesn't seem to happen now, does it?
Hardly at all. But if it does, then the Biothermored, if it threatens to go at all, and I say I can't get to you guys, I do put the longer Biothermored on it, and I'll kind of either lie on it if I can, and if I can get to it quick enough, it'll start to melt.
Stabilise down.
Melt the spasms away.
Yeah, okay.
So it is fantastic for that.
So it's I think what's interesting with you is the amount of work you're doing on your own strength and conditioning, and how that's sort of, and as a consequence, your musculoskeletal pain's more under control.
It is,
and we're seeing less of you with your back, with your spine out. So you're becoming a lot more stable, a lot more stronger.
Yes.
And when things go out, you've got that facility to use that.
Put it on quick, and it's really been fantastic.
Yeah. But I think, you know, people say to me, oh, you know, was it worth all the problem of bringing it in? But then people come and say, you know, you meet people who use this product and it just gives them wonderful heat, because we've been to a couple of pain conferences where there's great speakers there, but the guests are all people in chronic pain, and you know that we've been asked to exhibit the product, and we, you know, if you look online, some of the great quotes we get from them. So I think that makes it worthwhile.
Yes.
And so I just want to say thank you again, and if you want any more, let me know.